Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the season of December, and we have been working through our December, 2024 Art Advent Calendar Challenge. I have been working through them. I've worked through day 1 and 2, and now today we are going to be doing day 9. So today we're doing day 9. And I don't know what it is. I honestly do not. So let me see if I could pop this open. Okay. Do an illustration of black mixed watercolor with gouache. Draw anything you like. Okay, so I have to talk a bit about this art advent calendar, and I think I'll mention it again when I do my walkthrough, because I did do the previous days before it. I did 3, I did 4, I did 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I don't remember what my motivation was, but I don't think my motivation for making this prompt book was actually for Christmas, because a lot of the prompts were not Christmas related, and it seemed very mixed media. And anyway, so what I have been doing with the previous 6 days was, as you can see, this was day 1. I'm just giving you a bit of recap, and day 1 asked me to use indigo. In reality, what I did was I mixed my own indigo color using these Crazy Art watercolor paints that I've been falling in love with. These ones that I've been falling in love with, and you can see I have them all prepped up and off to the side. And then in day 2, as you guys know, it asked me to use water-based markers, and the markers it asked me to use was a marker I didn't have anymore, so I used a Ohuhu water-based markers, and this came out beautifully. But in day 3, it asked me something completely different, and so I decided, I think this was pastel colored pencils. Let me bring you out a bit and smallen you a bit, because just a little bit. So it asked me to use pastel pencils, so I did use my pointer pastel pencils for this one. And then here it asked me about drawing a dragon, and I decided, when I reached here and asked about drawing a dragon, I decided to continue using the Crazy Art watercolors that is here to my side, along with the Crayola colored pencils. I should have mentioned that I actually did use Crayola colored pencils on this too, especially for some of the highlights and textures. Crayola does have an indigo color there and a midnight blue that has some indigo qualities, and the line art, it doesn't look quite black. It's actually the indigo the indigo Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen that I use for those. And this too was the Crazy Art that I use here, and here was also the Crazy Art. I don't remember what the prompt was for this, but I decided to turn it into my worst Christmas memory ever, and that's what I did. And here I drew a Christmas bird. I think it asked me to draw a bird, and so I decided to draw a little red bird. And then here it talked about drawing a cat in the woods, and so again, to Christmasify it, or to make it more of the season, I put the cats in the wood, but little Santa Claus is going off in the background. And that's what I meant. I don't think I meant this art advent calendar for Christmas, so I had to be really inventive about how I would approach it for the season, So for this prompt here, where it asks for me to do an illustration using black watercolors, I am going to do an illustration with black watercolors, but I will be using the Crazy Art, but I don't think I'll be putting gouache in it. So give me a minute. It'll be maybe 15 minutes for me and 1 second for you. Let me come up with something, and then I'm gonna hop into it. The thing I should add is that I've been using these. I told you I fell in love with them. These are the Basic Electra mechanical pencils that I bought here in my country, and I've been loving using these. And because I'm working with black today, I think I'm going to be using the blue today. So well, this one I didn't use it, but I definitely used it here. And you can see I still have red sketch marks in there. They don't erase as well. This one I used the green. Kind of like it because, you know, the sketch marks kind of disappeared, except for this one where I used red sketch marks. And I'm not sure if you can still see the sketch lines in here. But yeah, anyway. Now, I'm thinking I want to do another cabin in the woods. Should I do another cabin in the woods? I don't know. Okay, I think I have an idea. So let me find some references and hop to it. Okay, so I decided to keep with the theme of using monochromatic, and it asked me to paint in black. Now, black is one color that I've never painted in before in all my years of doing Huevember, and I think this year is going to be year 5 or 6 of doing Huevember. I have never painted in black, so that would have been a challenge for me, and I decided to come with Santa working in his workshop. I think that will give me enough elements to play around with black hue. And it was kind of challenging drawing Santa in his workshop because I've never drawn Santa in his workshop before. And here you see me first. I went in first, blocking in where I want my placement of shapes, and then you see me then forming my Santa, you know, how his body shape was. Of course, I'm using references of how I want to see Santa. And then I was like, okay, he's at his desk, but you know what? I don't want to draw the other leg. So why don't I just put this like it is a big, you know, Chester set or something with plenty of space for him to work with. And I was having so much trouble drawing his hat. Oh my gosh, Santa hat is so troubling to draw with. And then the blue was so light that when I went in to put in I was confused with my lines, so you'll see me from time to time grabbing my graphite pencil, my 2H pencil, to try to remember which is my most important line. And with the blues, like I said, it doesn't erase like other colored graphite leads. It actually remains. So I was, you know, struggling, and now you see me doing the line art, and the line art became a bit easier once I know which lines I wanted. And it was, you know, it was kind of nice just going in there, doing the line art. At this point, I was just so fearful to ensure that everything looked parallel to each other. And I wanted to put a little box there. And then you'll see me confused a bit because the last thing I actually drew was his eyes. His eyes still doesn't have any pupils at this point. And then I'm going in there, putting in the eyes, and then I'm going to put in his pupil, how his pupil is looking, the direction of where his pupil is looking. And this is where I decided to add a window for him to show that his workshop is at a window. And this was a lot of fun. I was so thankful that I decided to put the window because the space above his head seemed a little empty, and I wanted to put something there. So I decided to put a window there, and not much foliage, just a little bit, just enough to make the concept that he's at a window, he's in his workshop working away. Guys, thank you so much, and let's now get to the color up. So as you can see, this is an amazing study. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to put it in black and white and grays, but I think it's going to be one of my biggest challenges. So I think I'm going to stick with the idea of the prompt and do it as a black and white study. And just a little thing, you know, Santa in his workshop. So let me hop to it. Okay, so how was I tackling this one? I was looking at this one and looking at blacks with different hues, with different temperatures. You know, each hue or color has a different temperature to it, and black is no different. There's warm blacks, there's cool blacks, And warm blacks tend to be a little bit more red, while cool blacks tend to be a little bit more blue. And that what I was playing with. Even though the black was one shade, I would add blue to it to get it a different shade. And for this one, I just got it neutral, and that was an amazing thing. For the beard, that was the black. I add a little bit more blue to, and I kind of lighten it a bit. Honestly, I just left the skin as is. I didn't paint his face at all because I wanted to have some form of white contrast in this. And the fact that the blue pencil markings were still there within the beard, it kind of made it look like hairlines. I didn't know what I wanted to do with this Chester set, this workbench actually. So I just made it a little bit more warm black and then went there with it. And then I made his hat darker but warm black still. And to do the warm black and blue, well, cool black, I added blue for the cool black, but for the warm black I added brown because the brown in this set is a bit warm. So that was what made it look reddish. And even though it does look reddish here, guys, in the original piece with my naked eye, it does show the black. It's just that the camera and the tricks make it look like I'm painting with a very muted red, but I'm not. I'm actually painting with warm black. And it was actually having a lot of fun doing this, painting the wheels for whatever little toy that Santa is making in his workshop. And now you'll see me going in here trying to, I think after this, I went after the trees at the back. You know, I want to do some kind of shadowing in the future. Yes, I told you I went to trees at the back. I want to do some kind of shadowing in the future. So I just put some stuff there so that when I hit this with some colored pencils, I have something to work with. Amazingly, Crayola has two kind of blackish color. They have an outer space color pencil and they have black, so I will be playing around with those while working with this, guys. I don't know how to put this was a lot of fun. Even the amount of water that was in my brush changed the saturation of the black that went on the paper. So those were tricks that I was working with in this piece, and I was having a lot of fun with this. Honestly, I'm so thankful that I did Huevember this year because this is where I pick up these tricks, learning how to play with saturation, learning how to play contrasting, learn how to play with temperatures. I learned that in Huevember. Guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And after here, you'll see me wrap this up. You'll see me in the end piece. So I just want you to enjoy the last few seconds of this. See you in the wrap up. Okay, I'm sure I would have given you my thoughts of what I thought of this in the draw up and the paint up. Oh my gosh. Honestly, in person it looks more black than it actually does. Here it looks kind of red, but in reality it is more black. What I did is I kind of played with the concentration of black with the Crazy Art watercolors. I added blue, I added brown. I did not add red, but for some colors I added blues, for other colors I added brown, and that was what gave me the brown or the red and blue tinge to the paint, so I could have played with that a bit. So I'm gonna let this dry here a bit, and then later on when it's completely dry, then I'm gonna hit it with some Crayola colored pencils just to kind of emphasize some of my shadows and what's not. But this have been totally a lot of fun. I am so thankful to Huevember, because in Huevember I would have learned to play with tones and saturation and contrast of the different hues or chromas. So I'm so thankful for Huevember, for for that exercise that I do every year. Guys, let me know what you think of this in the comments below. So now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take it away again, hit this with some Crayola color pencils, and then work on those other 3 prompts so that I can bring a full sketchbook walkthrough with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. How is your December season going? We're already at day 9. What have you been doing? Is Christmas is around the corner. Guys, are you ready for Christmas? Let me know all those beautiful goodness in the comments below. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.